my name's Danielle. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about... You know, it's been a while since you filmed your last YouTube video when you have to watch your old YouTube videos to remember how your intro goes. So hey guys, it's Danielle and I am back today for another exciting video. It's been a minute since my last one, as you were probably aware. I believe it's been 1 month, maybe 2. I decided to take some time off and it was really needed. I needed to refill my creative well and I feel good. I'm very excited. I'm excited to get back in it. I'm not gonna lie, I had to search and dig to find my memory cards, so that was fun, but that's besides the point. Today I kind of wanted to talk to you about some of the books that I've been reading and loving in 2020. Okay, so we're actually going to start off with probably my favorite book of 2020. Honestly, let's just start off big. Why not? I recently finished this book. I finished it about 3 days ago, and I have not in a long time closed a book and felt this full inside and felt this satisfied and felt all the things. This book, you're gonna see. So the book that I'm talking about is Cinderella is Dead by Kalynn Bayron. Oh my goodness, did this book blow me away. It is forever going to be one of my most recommended books. I, from here on out, will be recommending it to everybody who asks me for a book recommendation, whether or not they're asking for a retelling, whether or not they want fantasy, whether or not it's YA. I'll just tell everyone that asks me even where to go down the street, or you know, anyone who's asking me what the time is, I'll be like, oh, you mean Cinderella is Dead by Kalynn Bayron? This is going to be one of those books that I will be ranting and raving about for the rest of my entire life's existence. That was a lot, but that's how I feel about this book. First of all, before I go into what this book is about, look at how stunning this cover is. It is mesmerizing. And this copy is a copy that my dear friend Alex over at Pug Pages on TikTok and at pug.pages on Bookstagram, she actually made this. Look at how beautiful this is. It is so pretty. And then she even put a shoe underneath. I'm obsessed. So essentially the premise of this book is that it is in a world that Cinderella existed. The story as we know it, Cinderella, and it is about 200 years after Cinderella has died and after her story has taken place. It follows our main character, Sophia, and she lives in a world where every single year young girls must go to a ball, just like Cinderella did. It is required. However, there is kind of a little bit of a difference where you have to go to a ball, and if you don't find a match and if you're not chosen, you're kind of just thrown out of society and ridiculed and never heard from again. Sophia is strong-headed, she's independent, she's loyal, and she'd much rather be with her best friend and her love, Aaron. But in this society, it is obviously frowned upon for women to be with women and men to be with men, because the whole purpose of this ball is for men to be able to find women in which they can then use them and control them. And it's extremely dark, extremely twisted, and basically it's kind of throwing the fairy tale that we originally had and flipping it upside down on its head and showing us that it was much more sinister than we thought originally. So basically on the day of the ball, Sophia ends up fleeing, and when she flees she runs into the mausoleum where Cinderella is buried and accidentally stumbles upon the last known relative of Cinderella herself. Her name is Constance, and the two of them team up to throw down the patriarchy. This book made me feel things. I am telling you, it was very dark. It was a lot darker than I was expecting, which I also really loved. I will say there's a trigger warning for abuse, emotional and physical, but this book is probably one of the most important books right now to me. I connected with the characters so fiercely. I was obsessed with Sophia, but I was even more obsessed with Constance. I loved the way they took the fairy tale and flipped it on its head in a way that actually makes sense and in a way that is so prevalent and important in terms of issues today. I stan it. I'm here for it. I loved it. I loved the writing style. I loved the characters. I loved the little nods to the original story. And I just loved the overall message, and I think that this is something that so many people will love and so many people will relate to, and so many people need to pick up. So that was a long-winded explanation. I'm sorry. As I said, this was my favorite book of the year, so I promise the rest of them will not be as long or in-depth or ridiculous. But overall, this book, please pick it up, please read it immediately, and enjoy, because I can't imagine anyone who doesn't like this book. I will defend it for the rest of my life. The next book on my list for books that I absolutely adored this year is Don't Read the Comments by Eric Smith. This book, I did not expect. I did not expect the way that it would capture my heart and how important and impactful it would be to me. I picked up this book because it just sounded super interesting and enticing to me. It's about a girl gamer, it's about rising above your family and above your class, it's about social media and its power and its impact on all of us, and it's just not what I was expecting to feel from this book. I was expecting to just casually go through this book and read it, and then it literally just grabbed my heartstrings and tugged on them and put them into a ball and tied them in a knot and threw them out the window. Honestly, this book was a roller coaster, and I am so glad that it was something I picked up this year. Basically, this book follows our main character. Her name is Divya, and Divya is a gaming legend and a rising star. So she plays this game called Reclaim the Sun, and basically through her popularity on the streams that she posts and promotes on her channel, she has gained a huge following. And from this following, she's gotten to have sponsorships, she's been able to make money from streaming, and all of this is going to help her mother pay for her last year of classes, because her mom doesn't think that they can afford to pay for her classes, and she's on the edge of dropping out so that they can just get by. So Divya is doing everything she can to continue to get these sponsorships and to be able to help her mother afford to do the things that she loves. This game also follows Aaron, and Aaron, like Divya, is someone who behind the scenes of the screen is living a much different life than everybody realizes. Aaron is trying to pursue this life of game development even though his parents want him to be a doctor. So he is developing a game for a local developer, and to his dismay, they are not paying him. They keep holding down the fishing line further down the road and saying, oh, almost, we'll pay you soon. But he's not getting the money he needs, nor the money he deserves. And when he's not developing, he spends his time escaping into a game called Reclaim the Sun. And essentially there, Aaron and Divya meet by chance, and it just so happens that they meet right when things implode. They're able to relate to each other, and they're able to share their story with each other. They're able to go on this cool mission, and they discover this brand new planet together. And then everything kind of implodes when all of the online trolls try to take Divya down because they are jealous of the fact that a female is the #1 streamer in a game that should be for males. So basically, this is a story of online friendships. It's the story and the love of gaming, but also the dark side of gaming as well as the internet. And it's a story of friendship. It's the story of coming together. It's the story of standing up and believing in yourself and in believing that you can do anything that you want, and that there are no limitations to what you can do just because other people put them on you. So I really loved this story. I vibed with it very much. I loved all of the pop culture references in this book. I loved our main character. I loved the relationship between the two characters, and I really love where this story went and where it ended up. So if you were thinking about getting this book, I highly recommend that you do. This was absolutely one of my top favorite reads of 2020. So it's already August, and I think that I've read about 60 books this year, so I definitely have more than 3 books that were my top favorite books of the year. So since this is my first video back in a month or two, I'm going to just ease back into the whole YouTube thing. So I'm only going to be recommending 3 books today and talking about 3 of my favorite books so far this year. However, I am planning a video that's going to be much longer and much more expansive. That is going to be my top 20 books of 2020, and I'm really excited about it because I've read some really amazing books this year, and I can't wait to talk about them. So the last book I'm going to be talking about today, which is one of my favorite reads of the year thus far, is another recent read. It is Scavenge the Stars by Tara Sim. This book was on my list and has been on my list for the longest time, and I was not planning on reading it right away, but my best friend Zach told me that he was reading it and that we both should read it together. So I did. I picked up the audiobook and I was obsessed with this book. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we all need a good pirate story in our lives. We all need a good pirate story in our lives. And this was it. This was the one. So basically this book is a gender-bent Monte Cristo retelling. It has such strong Pirates of the Caribbean vibes, like Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End vibes. It is fast-paced. There is incredible world building. I honestly thought this was going to be a standalone, and then when I realized when I got into it how expansive it was already becoming, I was like, oh no, there's definitely going to be another one. I loved our characters in this book. I loved the fact that it was such a diverse book. This is really just a compelling story of revenge and sword fighting and politics and political intrigue in general, and lots of feelings and emotions and plot twists. If you like heroes with tragic stories and you like heroines with knives and general badassery, you're gonna love this book. So absolutely recommend. This was another one of my recent reads that I gave 5 out of 5 stars, and I'm so glad I read it, and I'm so excited for the sequel. But yeah, Scavenge the Stars, if you haven't already added it to your TBR, you should definitely make sure to do so. The sequel is coming out in March of next year, so I cannot wait. But yeah, that is it for my first video back on YouTube in the last month. It feels so good to be back. I'm very excited to be back here, and I appreciate all of you for waiting for me to come back. I am definitely planning on filming a lot more videos. You should be expecting probably one a week. Honestly, about one a week sounds good to me. And I have so many different things coming. I have some reading vlogs coming. As I said, the top books of 2020 for me. I also have some book tags coming. My mid-year book tag freakout is coming, which I'm very excited about. But thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I am so glad to be back in the swing of things, and I'm so grateful that you are sticking around and supporting me. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.